this what we wanted? Is this for at what cost? At what cost?
Hi, hello, this is Jules the Human here. I'm back with my friend Ian. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania 34, our reactions, everything that went down, all the stuff that you may have missed. We're going to be talking about it. Ian, you're a pretty big wrestling fan, right?
I would say so.
Yeah?
That I'm a pretty big wrestling fan. I mean, if there's any...
In this corner,
right?
So we're going to be talking about everything that you may have missed on WrestleMania 34. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can know whenever I release a new video. And of course, you can follow Ian. The links to his stuff is going to be right down there in the description of this video. So the first match that I want to talk about, Seth Rollins versus The Miz versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. This, I think, was the only one that I didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah, it was pretty even on all three sides. I mean, if you kind of like look at it, you know, from the reality era of it, you can kind of tilt towards the title change because Miz just had a baby.
They were kind of hinting at him changing his demeanor a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, he got a kid now, he has a daughter that he has to worry about. And the way he was talking on mic with the commentators past couple weeks has just been like, he's been super chill and it's pretty good. It was a good match.
It was definitely a good match. I mean, first of all, like starting off, like the entrances. For WrestleMania is the Super Bowl for any wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And so when you watch the Super Bowl, the halftime show and the commercials are a little bonus.
Yeah.
For me, for WrestleMania, it's the entrances. Finn Balor's entrance.
Oh man, yeah, it made me tweet. I tweeted at him because I was like, I never really tweet about wrestling, whatever, and I was like, yo, that entrance was super nice. It was awesome.
Beautiful. I mean, you know, everybody's for Balor Club. I mean, that shirt was a fan art. And then he made it into a shirt.
Wow. Yeah, it was super cool. I really loved Seth Rollins' entrance. That was like a super cool, the Kingslayer, that Game of Thrones-esque with the blue eyes.
That took me a minute. Like I'm sitting there looking at him, I'm just like, what is he? And then going on his Instagram and I saw the whole outfit, I was like, oh, Ice King.
The very first thing that happened in WrestleMania, and that looked beautiful.
I think it was a great way to kick off WrestleMania too, because it was high intensity, like high impact, and then, you know, these are all fan favorites.
Oh yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So,
I didn't know they were going to go that hard, like right at the beginning. I was like, oh shit, here we are.
It's New Orleans, baby. They had to, and it's WrestleMania, you can't just pull off an everyday match.
For sure. And then going after that one was one that I think we're both kind of mad about.
Oh man.
Charlotte Flair
versus Asuka.
Let's take a moment. Why are they doing this?
Okay, so first of all, I can't say that I'm mad at the match.
Okay.
The match was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously Asuka lost, and which means 2+ year winning streak, being the undefeated NXT Women's Champion, to the point to where she didn't even lose the belt. She relinquished the title because she was going to the main show, going off of all of the undefeated streaks, even winning the mixed match challenge with The Miz.
It was like, she's gonna win. She's gonna go all the way.
She's gonna have to. Her challenging Charlotte was actually a really good thing because I couldn't see Asuka versus Alexa,
and she lost, and that was something that a lot of us were not expecting. A lot of wrestling fans, a lot of people that were sort of into it, they knew. They were kind of just saying like, yeah, she's gonna win it. And I even told Ian on Instagram, I was like, yo, I don't know if, you know, WWE Creative, they've done this to us before. And
it's terrible to think, but yes, they have. They bring us all the way up here and then they shut us down. But you know what? That's what keeps us tuning in every Monday, Thursday, Wednesday for NXT and every pay-per-view. Charlotte's entrance, coming out to her father's entrance
at the beginning. Yeah.
That was really good. I thought it was a really good. And also, for those of us who are wrestling fans who have seen WrestleMania in the past, her entrance is an ode to Triple H's entrance when he came out in the Golden King of Kings outfit, where she was one of his helpers in the entrance. So I don't know. These are the things that I noticed.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that happen. I mean, especially in entrances, like we already said, entrances were super cool. They did a lot of, we didn't talk about, but The Miz had some 3D graphics that were really cool.
That was actually really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Asuka's stuff, there was 3D masks, and I was like, okay, if they're not going to go like super pyro or anything, I like these 3D.
I think that's a good, segue off of the pyro. Less danger, but more. Like, you could do more with it. I thought it was a good addition.
Yeah. So the United States Championship, where are you at with that? Because I really don't care anymore. I don't know. I'm just like kind of over it. This is kind of the middle ground where everybody loves Rusev, all that stuff, but it's like, I don't know. There's just like in the middle for me.
Okay, so it was Jinder Mahal, Rusev, Bobby Roode, and the champion Randy Orton. Right? So it was a 4-way, and they ended up giving it to Jinder Mahal. I don't know if they're doing that because they're going to Saudi Arabia and they're going to put a championship on Jinder and have him represent over there. But they could have also put it on Rusev, and it still would have been the same feeling. I was expecting Rusev. Rusev has been pushed so much,
so hard
these past few weeks with him and Aiden English, and I could feel it on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be Rusev Day real hard.
And everybody, I heard Rusev Day about 20 times before the match even started. Everybody was chanting it. Everybody was saying it. And I was like, Jesus Christ, he's being pushed really hard, and then he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
I'm with you on that, Julian. Like, I like all these people in the match. You know, don't get me wrong. I like Jinder Mahal. I mean, I really like Bobby Roode. I think having him as the U.S. title holder was a good move for WWE. But I could take or leave this match.
Sure. It was just like, it was still good, but coming off of the defeat that just happened, I don't know. It was just kind of like a little slump down here. And then we get into something that they've been pushing really hard with Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and then
Ronda Rousey,
Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, all that. That was surprisingly really good. I was really happy.
And it's funny, dude, because watching all of her training videos on her social media, being a wrestling fan, you kind of go like, oh, you know what? She's going to have a hard time at WrestleMania. It just looked like it was. It looked like she couldn't get out of the whole Olympic judo mode and, you know, the aggressiveness. Again, you need the aggressiveness for WWE, but...
And to be fair, she wasn't that great on mic, and everything that she was doing whenever they're trying to push her, like, once every week, it was just like, oh, no.
But it takes time. It takes time. Definitely. I mean, Shayna Baszler, the current NXT Women's Champion, winning over Ember Moon, she had the same issue. But now she's advancing really well. I mean, with her in-ring ability and her on-mic ability, she's an amazing heel. I liked it. I did. I can't say that I didn't like WrestleMania because I always love WrestleMania. But I'm always partial to the game, man. That's my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, he's great. He's always just super formidable whenever he comes out. He came out in, like, again, we're talking entrances, a fleet of motorcycles that just came out. I was like, oh my goodness, you can feel the rumble with all of them just coming out. And he had Stephanie McMahon on one as well. Yeah,
his and hers motorcycle. It was beautiful. And then as well, like his trademark, spit take that he does in the ring. He did it with his wife.
Yeah, that was kind of
it was amazing. It was a good moment. I think Kurt Angle always wrestles aggressively and wrestles really hard no matter what age he's in. He did it in WWE, he did it in TNA. Like, that's just how he is. I think Ronda, she definitely stepped up.
It was so good. I was waiting to see what was gonna happen, and I was just like, wanted her to get in. She didn't get in for a while, and I was like, come on, let's. And they're playing off like Stephanie McMahon playing with her like outside the ring. Yeah. It's like, tag me in, Kurt, tag me in. And I was just like, I was really surprised, and I'm really happy, and I'm curious to see what goes on and where she goes next. We'll talk about both tag teams at the same time. I don't know if they're doing enough for me to take it serious, especially with the penultimate match with new favorite Nicholas, the Kid.
The youngest ever tag team champion in WWE history.
Now, these two matches were just kind of like, okay, they were good filler, I think. Yeah. I mean, we already kind of knew that the Bludgeon Brothers were going to take over. We already knew that the Bar was going to be taken over by whoever it was. Yeah. So I think they really need to do something to change it up so that the tag team championship belts can be a thing again.
If you are a wrestling fan, you watch the shows, I think they're just rebuilding the tag team division.
Sure.
There's a lot of people from NXT that are tag teams that are being called up. I think that's what they're doing right now, and it just didn't come at a point for WrestleMania to where it was like full circle.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's getting to the point to where it's like, okay, because that's how we felt about Cesaro and Sheamus when they first paired.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden they're
a thing.
They're a dynamic duo.
Yeah,
like, I love that saying. We don't raise the bar, we are the bar.
I guess they just need to throw something more in there with the superstar shakeup that's going to be coming up in this next coming week. I definitely want to see some new matches because, again, I think what these tag teams are doing, they just keep rotating on the same people, and that gets kind of...
It does get a little stale. I mean, how many great matches can the Usos and New Day put on together?
Sure.
I mean, they had that whole series that led up to the Bludgeon Brothers coming in. I'm actually just happy that they're using those two guys because they were originally with Bray Wyatt, and then they kind of fizzled out.
When everybody split with Braun, and it was just like, and now they came back with their, their hammers that, might not weigh anything, but...
Yeah, that's another thing, too. A little bit of... Don't try and push a foam hammer as being 40 pounds when you drop it on the ground and it bounces.
Yeah. So he kept getting these colorful shots of John Cena. He was drinking a beer. He was hanging out in the crowd. They kept cutting to him during a bunch of matches before, and then all of a sudden he gets called to the back. They say that somebody's here. Something's happening. He runs, bolts out.
In good John Cena fashion, too.
Yeah.
Just takes off.
He's just boom. He's gone. It was fantastic. They didn't say anything. They didn't know what was going on. Apparently everybody assumed it was Undertaker. John Cena comes out after the SmackDown title match and comes out to Elias.
They got me.
Yeah.
They really got me. And that's just me being a fan. Like, I was just like, what is this?
A lot of people thought it was going to be Kid Rock coming out, and then we're going to see Undertaker, do his
American
Badass thing. But, we saw another match of Undertaker, and I'm totally okay. He looked fine. He looked fit.
He was quick. He was agile. He was super strong. I mean, the match lasted, what they said, about 2 minutes and some change.
Yeah, but still.
This is what you want at WrestleMania. Like, this is WWE listening to the fans and just doing it without putting their own... Well, they did put their own twist on it. WrestleMania, you're looking for pops. You're looking for those what moments. And then that last little bit what moment before the big what moment of Undertaker coming out with Elias. I think it was, at the moment, upset. Very upset. But looking back on it, it did the job.
One of the biggest pops, one of the biggest reactions that everybody had at WrestleMania this year was when Daniel Bryan came out with Shane McMahon for another match for Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens changed his name on Twitter. I don't know if you were aware of that. He erased all of his tweets and everything. He went back, Fight Steen, what he used to be called, and he deleted all his tweets. It's all black, so we don't know what's going on. That was happening during WrestleMania. And I was like, nice extra touch. I was I really like it.
Keep it up to persona, keep it up to gimmick is definitely something that Kevin Owens is really good at. I, for one, just like everyone else in that arena, was actually just very happy to see Daniel Bryan wrestling. Because for 3 years, doctors were telling him that he couldn't. And then for some reason, through the hard work from his wife and him and the other doctors that he saw, they cleared him. So now we get to see, the Yes Movement again. The last time we saw the Yes Movement was WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans when he won the WWE title. But now we get to see him come back in New Orleans. It just works really well.
It was a pretty good match. I don't know the beginning part where he got kind of injured and we're like, oh no, what's going to happen, But I kind of figured that was just like a play. It wasn't...
Yeah, it kind of works on the emotions because, Daniel Bryan getting injured, they said, the last time when he got injured that if he took another bad bump that he could get some severe damage. So that little emotional play, I think is what WWE was going for. And again, it worked because the arena went almost silent. They were just like, oh no,
we didn't.
Is this what we wanted? Is at what cost? At what cost?
Surprisingly, Shane did pretty well. Everybody in that match did really well. They did some good moments. They had, of course, Kevin and Sami doing the "you made me do this," all the trash talking. I love these two guys with trash talk.
It was beautiful. They have a persona, they have a personality that they have to portray, and just those. There's no mic on them, but just keeping that up, somebody's going to notice. It just adds to it. It's good for the match.
So I think this was like the peak of the WrestleMania event, and then it just kind of like petered out a little bit. But AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura for the title. Everybody's been waiting for that for forever. It's been on everybody's mind going into it. They've been doing a lot of trash talking and a lot of stuff like that. They didn't really meet in the ring a whole lot, but now... here we are, the match of the century, and he didn't win. Shinsuke didn't win.
I don't think anybody is more upset about that than myself. And here's the reason why. I went to WrestleMania when it was in Dallas. Okay? I brought my belt. and I wanted to get a signature. And I didn't know who I wanted to get it from.
Sure.
The first person I met, and who was the nicest person, well, everybody was nice, but the nicest was Shinsuke Nakamura. So he is the only person that I have signed on my belt right here. Because I knew when he was in NXT, he's going to get called up and he's going to become the champion. And when he does, this belt is going to be like $1,500. So I was with bated breath watching this match. Trust me, when he didn't win, very upset. AJ Styles being legitimately one of the greatest in the world right now, a champion everywhere he goes, whether it's New Japan, ROH, TNA, multiple champion at TNA, and now in WWE. You know, you can't really be too mad at the outcome. What was the turn that got everybody's eyes wide open? Shinsuke Nakamura's heel turn.
Yeah, that was totally unexpected. I don't think anybody could have called that, because he's been seen as something heroic. He's just kind of the guy that's just like the good guy, and he's always been seen like that. Everybody loves him. He had an amazing entrance. Again, all these entrances are fantastic. But at the end, he's just kind of, just seems like he's a little bitter about losing and kind of just mad at himself, and he just takes it out on AJ, and it's like, we hear some boos. We hear a lot of boos. And it's like,
it definitely got a reaction out of the crowd, which again is what WWE is looking for. But I think it was about time. Really so much that you can do with a character like that as a face or a good guy, for those who don't know. I think the heel turn was the best. I'm interested to see, like, hopefully they allow him to be more of New Japan Nakamura than just, WWE.
I just don't want him to get lost in the shuffle, kind of like what they have with Randy Orton, that sort of, like we talked a little bit earlier, the Bobby Roode, where the mid card is, I want all these guys to be really good and have really good matches, but I just don't want him to get lost somewhere in there.
He's an amazing wrestler. It's proven time and time again. He does have an amazing character, and he's great in the ring, and although he doesn't speak English well, he's he's cool on the mic. He's funny on the mic. Like that.
His faces he makes.
The faces he makes, like the interview that he did with Renee Young for SmackDown, how he was portraying sarcasm of how sorry he was.
Yeah.
It just works. But again, I'm going to be holding on to this title until he gets it.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, the main event for the night of WrestleMania, and that one was, a lot of people were saying, like, this is what WWE does. They give you some great stuff, but then they leave you with a bad taste in your mouth. That's what I feel like the last two matches were.
The last two matches were definitely setups for the next day, because everybody knows that WrestleMania is amazing, it's good, it takes you to a height, but then Raw the next day and then SmackDown the day after that, that's when like the real things happen. Like in the NFL draft, the real trading happens when the draft goes off. It's kind of like that. They played into that too much with these matches, just setting it up too much. I also think, being on Twitter and just reading things about the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match, that there was a decision change. That's what people are speculating. Rewatching the match last night, I can see it. I can see that somewhere in that match, they decided to make a change.
He was bleeding for it. That was intense. See, we don't see a whole lot of blood anymore in WWE, but that was a lot of blood. And I don't know if it was just like me not seeing it for a while, but I was like, oh my God, his whole face was just red.
No, definitely. And being a person who like rewatches the old pay-per-views from time to time when they're bleeding, this was a little much. It was just like, okay, someone turned the faucet on his head, and it just.
And I was like, okay, they need to end this. They need to end this right now. Get somebody over. Help him out. Like, I'm not even that big of a Roman fan, and I'm like, okay, he's not okay. Something's going on.
Something's very wrong right now.
And like legit, I don't know if my mom's gonna get mad or whatever, but she was legit mad. She's a huge Roman Reigns fan. For the next day, she was just literally pissed off. That's what a lot of people felt. I mean, the way they were building it up, he should have won. He should have done it.
With the attacks and everything done on the show, with Brock Lesnar not showing up on the show leading up to this, like, this was the moment that these two powerhouses were supposed to come together and just implode in New Orleans. It didn't happen.
No, it was just a lot of the power moves that, Brock Lesnar does all the time, Roman Reigns. Superman punching, a bunch of stuff. It's just a bunch of power moves, and a lot of people on Twitter were saying, like, I remember when an F5 was a finishing move.
Yeah, when you got an F5 and you weren't getting up.
No.
Or same thing with the spear.
Yeah, spear. It was just like, these guys are just trading blows, and now it's just, that power creep. We see it a lot in DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, a whole lot of that stuff, but now it's going into wrestling when power moves, finishing moves just just aren't what they used to be, and I kind of want that to be
A
go
thing,
back.
yeah.
I want it to be a thing. I want it to mean something. But that's WrestleMania.
Definitely, everybody has their own opinions, of course. People like other things. People, disagree with what we're saying. It's just the overview of what we thought.
Let us know right down there in the comments what your favorite moment from WrestleMania 34 was. Any past WrestleMania, what was your favorite moment of wrestling at all? Let us know in the comments right down there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I release a new video every Wednesday and Saturday. Don't forget to follow Ian right down there in the description. All his links are going to be down there. Talk to him about wrestling. You can talk about anything. Go follow him and go show him some love. I've been Jules the Human, and I'll see y'all next time.